And good morning, Suzanne Joy.
Good morning, Deborah Leah.
Since we record these in the mornings, it may not be appropriate greeting for everybody, but for us it is. Welcome to Tuning In, where we play with practical spirituality for this new age that we are in. And I don't know where you want to go today, but I'd love to weave in the just the whole thing of exquisiteness, which is our pulse of the week, the Gene Key pulse of the week.
Okay. Do you have a specific kind of direction that you're feeling?
No, except for, well, yeah. Uh, I feel that, Venus and the moon and all of these interesting planetary movements that we're experiencing right now in our bodies, literally. Um, and there's a lot of emotional awakening or awareness, or maybe things that have not changed that much, but we're feeling on a deeper level. Um, it's like this, I guess, emotional awakening is what I would call it, but it's also uh, there's a flood of intensity that is creating the compost to nourish who we're becoming. And emotional beings is has never been a very valued trait. It's always been kind of considered feminine. Um, the masculine way was very didn't feel, wasn't allowed to cry, wasn't, all of that. And so now that we're feeling all of this, I was just having this conversation with my daughter, and there's so much to feel that it is overwhelming. So I think that's part of it, but there's also an exquisiteness to the pain, to the depth of our feelings and our love and the beauty sometimes. Uh, on the landing on my stairs going up and down the stairs, there's a landing space, and I have a windowsill that's got five orchids, all different, all different sizes and colors, and they are exquisite and they're all blooming at the same time. And it's just like so beauty sometimes, when you go to the symphony and you cry because it's the music is so moving, or you go to the art museum and you're standing in front of a piece and just going, and you're moved to the depths of your being. I find that exquisite pain or exquisite love or awe, or what would you, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going,
Well,
but can we can we be open to it as opposed to trying to numb it? I think that's what we were really good at this last several decades. And social media helps us to numb by just tuning out and looking at what the rest of the world is doing. Um, and
mhm.
the only other thing I wanted to say that came up this morning in my conversation with my daughter is we are not our emotions.
No.
So take that, because I don't know how to explain that very well.
Well, the emotions are just there to give us signals. And sometimes there are emotions, but sometimes we also pick up the collective swells, so to speak. So, really being able to be anchored in your own beingness and alert to what is yours and where the root of it may be coming from. And there's no judgment. It's just you can feel it and have it move through. It's that allowing
Or not move through
or not move through. It could sit there for a minute.
for a day or a month or a year. I
Yeah.
think that was my judgy part of myself, that like, okay, can you get through this now? I mean, like, really, you have all these tools. What, let's just move it through. and then praying for it to go away, or, as opposed to, huh, okay, this is where I am today. Like I have another little bout of poison ivy, and I'm like, I'm not going to be angry or try to figure out like, where did it come from this time? Because I think it's like from a shoe, or it's not from the plant. I haven't been in the plants. So something was still carrying that lovely poison. So I normally used to go, oh, I have to be an investigative, journalist and figure out exactly. And I'm like, this is what's going on in your body right now. So how do we heal it? I don't know. It feels different. Even from last month. Do you remember when I had poison ivy last? I was so mean and nasty. So,
Well, I think that most oftentimes, like you said, we push it, we try to push it away, but it's telling us, it's informing us, um, and being with, and maybe, just maybe, it's activating something within our bodies, um, on a cellular level.
well, which is what I think about with all these. Every time I get like poison ivy or some kind of discomfort in the body, I'm like, oh, thank you. There's new awareness there of something that's moving through or healing or coming out through the skin, and I've gotten so much better at allowing it to just be where it is in whatever phase it's in. Um, versus I used to be so like, what's wrong with you? Can't you remember to wear gloves? That's so helpful,
Like,
Um,
thanks a lot.
I, um, and the, and I feel like the mediocrity is what we're moving from as a humanity. I mean, there's still many people that are all in the um, living that shadow in the way that they don't want to stand out. They don't want to be different. They just want to blend in. They just want to do what's being asked of them. Um, they don't want to feel too much. They don't want to act out and let people know about their inner rage or inner sadness or maybe even love. And that mediocrity, because this shows up in my prominently in my Gene Key profile. I know this one really well. And I was really good at, especially early in my career, being in the corporate world and having a VP say to me, not everybody's designed for the corporate world. I think you're too much of an individual. And I took that as a slam, like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I fit in? I want to be like everybody else. And anyway, so that mediocrity has played a lot in my life. And then because I was coming from that place, I would attract situations, jobs, people that were in that because it's in my attraction field. So, but style, on the other hand, how do you define that? The gift of mediocrity.
You mean the gift of style,
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's the gift of the shadow of
of
mediocrity.
of mediocrity? Well, when I think we come into our wholeness, we acknowledge who we are. I mean, we're each so unique. Yes, we are part of a whole. I get that. That's given. But our innate beingness is so exquisite in that we came fully formed. I mean, now I'm just thinking of the acorn, right? This little teeny acorn that grows into this huge oak tree. It has all the information right in it, right? And it's so intricately designed, as we are. And so we don't, I think we learned, programming wise, to assimilate, to play
Yep.
ourselves down, to whatever. And we are uniquely creative. We are uniquely multidimensional. We are these souls, beings, in these physical bodies doing miraculous things.
With our
Um,
unique gifts. Yeah.
and so that flair, or that, ability to express
Hmm.
oneself, That
Mm,
is your gift. That's the gift of the style that your innate beingness wants to express.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think for a long time, I was told to be still, stop dancing around, which is my innate essence, right? Is being dancer. So, and the other thing was, oh, I was told one time, to stand in the back row because I didn't have a good singing voice. So I took that with me forever.
Mm,
And it's not true. Everybody can sing if you're taught a few things. And so I carried that till I was about 55. And then I was singing along with something, and somebody goes, "Oh, you have a really good voice." And I went, "Oh, I was always told not to." So, but the thing is to play it safe. And I think for women, we were taught, and I also wore a uniform to school. So, I mean, we were taught to just be, don't stand out. You don't want to draw attention to yourself.
right.
And I'm like, where where would I dim down my light like that? I mean, I would never do that to my children or to anyone I know. Like I love that they have unique ways of expressing themselves with, nose piercings and everything else that they do, which I would never do, but that's their thing and it's beautiful on them. They can carry it well. So where do we where is style comfortable? I'd like to ask this of myself and everyone that's listening. Where does style come comfortable for us? Like we feel okay dressing or driving this car or living in this kind of decor in our home or um, expressing ourselves with our writing or artistic gifts or whatever. And where do we hide it? Like what part of our light are we hiding? Because I'm playing with that one right now. So,
Yeah. It's a lot of risk taking, right? Um, to be able to step out of one's comfort zone to express themselves in any particular way that they feel they want to at any given moment.
do you remember when we first started doing this and you were so self-conscious with the camera? And then I'm like, oh, come on. This is just us having a conversation. And the more, and you have so relaxed. So it's been fun to see. I mean, I was doing it for 10 years before we started together. So, um, but the relaxing, which is a key word for me as well, into being who we are is where our style shows up. And that's what's exquisite in each individual and in the collective. Um, so, anyway, I can show you the mudra if you'd like
Okay.
to know.
Yeah.
So, you take your left hand and you put the palm down on your belly, which I like because it always reminds me to breathe deeply, slow down my voice. Yes, thank you very much. And you take your right hand and you just put your um, index finger touching your thumb. Oh, thank you. It's giving us the okay on the screen, um, like an okay sign. And you just let your fingers touch wherever they softly land. It doesn't have to be formed into a specific O or anything. And then as you close your eyes, you allow yourself to just breathe into that. And the third piece is to have just, because this is a Buddha expression, is just to have a slight Buddha smile. It's almost so simple. Which
Amen.
simplicity is exquisite as well, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add today?
Well, simple is better.
Okie dokie. I have a feeling there's something that the cosmic guardians and cosmic um, entities are wanting to say. And then I also feel something that I heard this last week is very often we look up to extend or to talk to the other dimensions. And I'm inviting us to look down as much. And this morning, when I was in the shower, I spread my toes and did like the four corners of my feet and grounded in. And I thought, there's a whole nother bunch of dimensions downward that I think we've been not paying as much attention to. I always talk to Gaia and Earth Star, but there's something about all that that's that are we're the gravity is holding us down for a reason. And can we play with that energy as well?
Nice.
But that's my grounding thing. Do you have anything from the stars or the planets or the
I think it's playing with what you might be seeing, feeling, experiencing, and following that intuitive nudge that's unique for you. I mean, we each have that. So following your light, your creative flow, your spark.
yeah. And what does light us up, spark us up. I was going to say, I don't know if that's a word. So, on that note, exquisite peace to each of you.
Till next time.